your paper, scorn you for your pennies. When you no see me gone, forget replenish. Back up in the morning, can't forget the message, no. Avocado, she feel for me, senny. Yeah, man, banana is sweet to she belly. Jeez, I want make life sweet, so like a jelly. Climb feet, it hard, can't easy, so forget it. Sang the pan the radio, video pan the telly. Loving on me heart, me a spread the catchy medi.
People, oh people, expectation. Will they love you? No guarantee. People, oh people, need salvation. Will they save you? No guarantee.
Some no like how you live, want to carry you go court. Some will burn every bridge and still I look for support. Jealousy is a cloud, check the weather report. That's why me tighten the ship and then me arm up the fort. Now the biggest of foes, once the closest of friends. But you know how it goes, how the fake will pretend. Some will shake off your hand and break bread in your house. Soon as you turn your back, them will run up on your spouse. Some will say you no rat, and you jump in a Benz. Like me never see STYLZ in a couple of them. Some will watch what you earn and account what you spend. Always want if you borrow, never have if you lend. But you see
people, oh people, expectation. Will they love you? No guarantee. Oh no guarantee. People, oh people, need salvation. Will they save you? No guarantee. No guarantee.
no matter where them a go, say me a live me life. No worries for me head when me a go a bed at night. Mommy, daddy, sister, yara, everybody nice. Cousin, auntie, virgin, them a get a slice. Man, them use to pack a thing and put it on a bike. Send you go a town and then them cheap on a flight. When you reach a foreign, them a go triple the price. Beds in a community and be malaka. Rice, get well with the ones and so them a fi do it twice. One day underground, the other one.
Conquering Lion of Judah. Come now, yeah, yeah, come now. The conquering lion is here to break every chain and give I the victory again.
Metamorphosis.
The conquering lion is here to break every chain and give I the victory.
Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis.
Survive in a world of poverty and genocide, and the basic needs for them to stay alive makes it so critical. See, good Father, come down and pour out your heart, have mercy on the weak in spirit and the poor in heart. Deliver them quick before them get caught in false rituals. Ooh, draw not your face from them in ignorance, soldier. With them you made a covenant, deliverance, soldier. Oh yes, your kingdom come down. Hey.
Metamorphosis. STYLZ FM.
with the intention to
Coming to you in living red, gold, and green.
the good for the
Metamorphosis.
Most High and say, humble yourself, my little one. Humble yourself, my children. Humble yourself. Oh, my brother. Oh, while you're done, me loving Africa. Love my nation. My interpretation, love universal. Love in Africa, love in America, love in Canada. Whoa. Every knee shall bend, every tongue shall take. Down in this valley, down in this valley, down in this valley of Jamaica. Where is your love, Jamaica? Where is your love, Jamaica? Deep shall not enter. These are la la. We walk on a true monster, sipping from the cup of peace. Chant down a Babylon, chant down Babylon, chant down a Babylon, chant down Babylon.
Dinastilin. Dinastilin. Aquaba. Greetings. Hail the item. Metamorphosis. Dr. Iman Blak. STYLZ FM. No other station like this on the entire planet. Coming to you out of Portland, where the vegetation is green and strong. The environment is conducive to thinking. Metamorphosis. Engaging thought. But before even going further, I need to engage the thinking of my colleague. Yes, we have in Suda here now. It's a normal little changeover happens so rapidly that everybody just kind of cut and go, you know? And it has been going on for centuries. But trying to transform the situation. So, as I said, the one who have the baton usually passing it on and man just receive baton and run, you know? But we're slow down in the transition lane a little bit and see what really are going on. So, Digital T is here in the Metamorphosis. Greetings, my brethren. Yes, you know that as our ingenious man. So, we're hearing you? All right, we'll set him up so we can hear. In the meantime, the burning spear chants away. Yeah, so we'll say again, hail ones and ones, give thanks for all the listenership, those on the island, those off the island, those that are in bigger continental spaces, and those who are in cyberspace. I don't know where that is, you know. Long time I'm trying to find that space that is called cyber. So many things happening there, but you can't see the space. Dread thing, you know. Cyberspace. Like a word unto itself. But we can't see it. But things happening through it. What a thing. Anyway, live and direct in the Metamorphosis, the man Digital T. Brethren, what
Yes,
a go on?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I had to slow down tonight, as I say, because Button usually pass on with us out.
Yeah, and the race just go on.
Yeah.
So, the man you mentioned earlier about within the struggle of people, the negative and the positive, and these forces out there, and we're talking a little bit about what is it that really make people gravitate more towards it appear the negative, you know? What that's about that?
I think it's most regarding to the copying thing. People like to follow.
So why they don't follow the good things then? So you say the good things are gone?
People tend to gravitate the easier stuff. To the easier stuff then. Yeah, so whatever is easier, them run with it, you know?
So where that's wrong with easy then? Because I think everybody, you ever hear a man say want to live an easy life? What that really mean? That really exists though?
Life on a whole, not easy about it, really. So I'm not sure if that exists.
Because we really, I try to get at what is it that drive people towards being so negative, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that because what? I mean, easy or it don't require any form of self-discipline.
Right, and you know really that challenging.
But maybe not, you know, because you know some book of some man in the streets who show you say them can make more money than me and you know, based upon for them hustling. Them take for them thing challenging, you know.
Yeah.
Because them a work.
Yeah.
And them a work hard too.
Yeah.
So, you know, how we talk to them kind of man, you know.
But regarding work and so, that never easy, no matter what type of work, so. Work is not classified easy. In my book, none at all. No form of work.
Yeah.
No work, not easy. Because with everything, you have the challenges over here, so no form of work, not easy.
Okay, so it really comes out to maybe choices.
Yeah,
what a man choose.
Mm-hmm.
So again, how is it the choice of being negative get so popular? Because when me a youth, and even before me and you was youth, so the thing they really run?
People tend to feed on whatever other people are doing. So if one person run with it, he just want to start, you know. It's just like somebody I tell you something and I say, all right, me tell you, but not tell nobody, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you tell somebody, they say open up. So it's like, once somebody starts something, a person just want to see that and them follow. You know, sometimes that's why you have so much rumors, or you say rumors. Because sometimes people don't confirm something.
Yes.
But once them hear say, them run with it. Yes, that's how it starts.
And we know now the destruction that follow hearsay. You know?
So that is a whole negative thing.
Yes, no, that really now becomes negative. When people will run with what them hear.
Yes.
Say, as you say, without any confirmation.
Right. And it's really a serious thing.
Yeah, very, very serious thing.
Very
you know?
serious
Even
thing.
you know the context of how we operate. A man just take piece away from here and run with it.
Yeah.
And add on the next piece to it, put more excitement to it.
Yeah.
So the negative now seems to be creating more excitement.
Yeah.
Is that?
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
It's another way to look at it.
Yeah, you know, is it that is where the excitement is now, because within a certain realms, even I going through the streets and some of the women is like them, to me, like the more extreme them get in them negative demonstration. It's like them create more excitement.
Yeah. It's just like the entire ism that you spoke about. The ism. You know what I mean? And
so,
like in my thoughts, one of my word this is like a negative thing, you know.
All right.
This. Every type of this you can think of goes towards something negative. You know.
And like everything now get this.
Yeah.
But what about disrespect now? that seems to be a kind of popular thing, you know. As you a man ask for something, you know, give him say, boy, you disrespect him. You know, things that we kind of even overplay some of them terms there.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Sometimes people overuse some of these words. You know, it's easier for people just jump and say something.
So where the leadership going to come from, digital? Where the leadership going to come from now?
It have to start within oneself.
Mm.
You know, you have to discover where you have as a leader and bring it out there. You can't follow because just like I said just now, everybody just jump and say one thing because you hear a man say that out there. So even the little youth, them will come up now, them are going to say, yo, yeah, this me, you know, because I hear everybody say it. But what about the leader? The leaders have to start from within. You have to know in yourself, say, yo, I may make a change, you know. You know what I'm saying? Not just you have to do that.
And the change, you know, what we're looking at now, you just know is moving away from this negative condition to this more positive condition.
Yes, man. Definitely.
What is within you talk about?
Yeah, but once you find it within, then you can bring it out. If you don't find it within, it can't come out. So you gotta just accept everything out there.
Hear about you. So how you as a man know, how you spin your music and thing, cause I go a la best and I see the eye perform and I don't go everywhere as I know, you know. But I see the man and the man seems to be almost like a theater man, you know.
Yeah.
So we say the music is more than just playing then.
It's more than just playing.
Yeah. So
it's about leadership, it's about command, it's about governing what you're doing. Taking control of what you are do.
Yes, yeah.
You know, if you are to follow a man down the road there, so you're not gonna do nothing different from him. You have to have something where you are do, where you are deliver.
Yeah. Creative, something creative coming out.
Yes, innovative stuff.
Yeah. So this is digital TV people in a different mode, you know. I don't know if him talk these things when him playing the music, you know. But you know, so the man them have enough no dimensions. So what else I do beside spin music and styles? Come on, you have a look at youth, you know.
Yeah.
Who behave like a big man, you know.
Yeah.
So
intelligent, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we love the youths them, so we spend some time and do some coaching and so at the school.
Sports.
Yeah. And graphics work and all of that. Culinary stuff, same way. Moldings, from buildings, same way.
So when a man hear you play, him have to know he's a multi-talented man.
Yeah, man, multifaceted. Definitely.
So this one dimension concept out there now, the man don't fit into it.
No,
where
sir.
a man just do this thing and do this thing him doing, him can't do nothing else.
No, sir.
Couldn't work, eh? Yeah. Versatility now is the mode at the times.
Definitely.
So we say down the road now, where I go? I go production thing. You know, say I hear you one day, you know, I really rinse, you know.
Okay.
That a man said to me, coming in the bus I come through, you know, weird. He ended up all the driving them are coming from St. Thomas to Portland, you know.
Yeah.
And we hear man play a song and after the driver said to me, hey, the song they I play enough. I say, yeah man, say the DJ look like I'm gonna say, make you listen. And then you say, boy, I like a part of your production.
Okay.
So what you do in them realms there?
Yeah man, it's something we're in depth and something we're involved in right now, the production thing. Yeah, so that is also another part of digital to another side.
See there.
You know, and the listeners say play that song different maybe, but that's how we present what we're putting out there.
Yeah.
Because like I said, me not follow. We are lead, so when we started even this program, the adrenaline rush, it wasn't based on what we see others doing out there. It was really a choice to do something different. Yeah. To present some artists on the rise and take them and know, say, yo, we can put them out there, make people know them.
Yeah.
So when I feature a particular song, that's how I do it. That's the delivery in our present it to the world, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. And the man is the man coming out of the Portland belly.
Definitely.
Yeah. And high school and everything in the area.
Yes, sir. Let's teach.
All right. Yeah, so Digital T, give thanks, for holding for a moment.
It's a joy, man.
Because as I say, we just tend to be in a relay exchange,
Pleasure.
And thing. So, yeah, man, give thanks. Cassidy? What? Silent assassin and the
no, in take off a silent assassin. Just Mr. Soulfly.
All right. So Soulfly and the ingenious one.
Definitely.
Sir, it's not genius. It's ingenious.
Yeah.
So
it's just all intellectual depth,
All right.
Yeah, just being profound and different.
All right.
Yeah, because we could have just got genius.
Yes, that's true. That
no, but ingenious is more in depth,
All right, thank you for that. Because I hear the sound all the while, But
yeah, man.
I don't want to draw my own conclusions, It's good to get
Definitely.
Yeah, man, deeper depths. STYLZ FM, Metamorphosis, going through.
Business operators, local and overseas. This announcement is for you.
STYLZ FM is an internationally known radio network with worldwide listeners in over 120 countries.
From our studio in Port Antonio, Jamaica, to the ears of the people in your community, our listeners can be your new customers.
STYLZ FM is an economical, efficient, and effective advertising option for your business.
No matter the size of your business, there's always growth potential. STYLZ FM provides the customer reach needed to realize that upward movement.
So procrastinate no more. Advertising is a must.
For more details on how to advertise with STYLZ FM, visit www.stylzfm.com or email info@stylzfm.com or call us on 876-518-2399.
STYLZ FM, the world listens.
Great news, everyone. DIB Block Factory and Hardware Supplies located at 44 William Street, Port Antonio. Now open every Sunday from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. Stop in and beat the Monday crowd. Get the same great service on a more convenient day. Doing some work on a Sunday, run out of material? No need to worry. DIB Hardware will be there to serve you. Still the #1 supplier in Portland of building materials, hardware supplies, kitchen and bathroom finishes. DIB Hardware, Port Antonio. Now open this and every Sunday. 44 William Street, Port Antonio. See you there.
Planning a party, club night out, stage show, a gospel concert, or even a business sales event? Let STYLZ FM be a part of your promoting tool. Take advantage of our low-priced promotion packages with commercials, interviews, giveaways, reviews, and much more. We have special offers when you mix and match and bundle your options. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. STYLZ FM for the most effective way to exploit your marketing dollar.
Remember STYLZ FM on social media. View us on YouTube, STYLZ FM Radio. Follow us on Instagram at STYLZ FM. Like us on Twitter at STYLZ FM 961. Become a fan on Facebook, STYLZ FM 96.1.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Titchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them at 285-0610 for more information.
Eli. Yeah, give thanks again. Another opportunity to engage in some thinking and the sharing of thoughts. This is the end program for the calendar year, for the month rather. And so open the lines, 954-338-7973. That's the overseas number, 954-338-7973, and locally it's 876-4531-444. So you use the opportunity to plug in and say and share what you have been thinking over these days and weeks and months, or even what you are thinking about for the time to come. So we're approaching the end of a calendar year, and of course, a lot of activities in the economics, a lot of activities in the religious world, a lot of activities. So we have to begin to be careful not to be caught up doing everything and sort of focus on things that will become more constructive when the calendar year ends and we go into this thing called January. Because the resources that we have, we will need, maybe even in a greater sense, comes next month. So we begin to practice a type of conservation. You know, this is a rhythm happening for so many centuries. By now, we're supposed to get the picture. So I really want to even say a certain amount of thank you to the man them who run the routes, the buses, particularly between St. Thomas and Portland. Yeah, the driver them, and 2 weeks ago, drop out an important piece of item, like my glasses, or I mean in a frame out of my bag. It just find its own way out. Just had to end up in the bus, and the driver able to secure that and bring it to the station. It was great. So I hailed up Rodney. Now I hailed up Russian, which is him driver. And in general, the man on the road there, you know, Grabber and Bigger and Taros and Carl and all kind of man who drive the roads, who keep the people to a certain level on the move and with a certain amount of consciousness. So we hit up them set of man there and the doctors them. Because, you know, Jamaican people have to be mobile. Otherwise we remain extremely poor. Because even along the road, the amount of money where people in a bus hand the people outside and people outside hand the people in a bus as the bus go along and stop you so and pick up that and let off that. There's a whole heap of transactions occur along the roads. So we have to aid up the driver them and aid up the taxi man them from Ported to the square who go all about the place, make sure the people on the move. Aid up Rumpel, aid up the man them right in the Ported Square. And of course in Buff Bay and in Morant Bay and in other places right across the island. Aid up all drivers and night workers in particular. Yeah, so we're into the November now and it's finalizing. And some events occurring at a level that need a little bit of attention internationally and locally. And at the international level, some serious thing happen within the evolution of culture, where we see a missionary, a white Christian missionary, attempting to spread the word of Jesus and defying and invading the space of a group of people living there for thousands and thousands of years and have their own philosophy and ideology about life. But here comes the salvation philosophy. And the people them do the right thing. They must put bow and arrow and put that to an end, because the people them do not want to be infected by any disease. No alien interventions in them system. So we're going to spend a little bit of time looking into them people, Andamese people, and the whole crusade effect, and the fact that the crusade is still on. And there are people who are willing to die in the name of Jesus to spread the idea about Jesus. It's serious. So that's the point that we need to look into to see how the role of the missionary from the days of the 1400s still remain very, very vigilant. And that's a part of why the system remains oppressive, because those who are in control, they are not relaxing. They're always sending out soldiers to push them ideology. Marcus Garvey got onto the same road and he began to develop soldiers who got global with the philosophy, but run up into all kind of obstacles. And so the thing kind of died down, but it shall rise again. There is also the issue now I want to speak to when it comes to identity. And in a serious way, the whole idea that we have been defined from day one as human beings. And I've been having some reasoning with some brethren about this whole concept of human beings. How did we come to be self-defined as human beings? What is a human being? Because before that terminology, black man always knew himself as black man. So what is this concept called human being? And when did that term come into existence? Because even within the context of religion, the Almighty Creator God said, let us make man. Never ever do we speak about this thing called human being. So we want to look into this identity definition. And then There is a point in our history that we need to explore. And I want to get that moving. Because, again, we have been given a history of the earth. And nearly all black people who are involved and have been involved with Islam as a religion and Christianity as a religion, both of those groups of people have been impressed with a story about the beginning of society. Not talking about the beginning now of the world and the universe and the creation story. Talking about the beginning of society, where people begin to engage in activity. And it appears to me that the one side that everybody is given as a starting point is a garden. It's a place called the Garden of Eden. Nearly everybody hear that sound in their lifetime. Whether you want to acknowledge it, whether you want to interrogate it, sometime in your lifetime between the age 0 and 5, you were put to sleep about the story about a Garden of Eden. So I want to ask now, is that place mythical? Is it literal? Is it a figurative place? Is it a metaphorical place? Is it a real place? This place that they call the Garden of Eden. I want to also, by extension now, check the evolution of society. When the Lord God run the two people them out of the garden and lock up the garden and ban them from entering. Is this where society begins? When these people were put out of the garden? Is that the beginning now of African culture? Is that the beginning of our story? So we're going to explore beyond the Garden of Eden in this metamorphosis. And remember, the lines are open. 453-1444 if you're locally grounded. And if you're off the country, it's 954-338-7973. Metamorphosis. the metamorphosis, moving into first gear. There's a constant demand for people to be able to clearly say who they are. Who am I? There's a constant struggle for clarity in answering the question, who am I? And that question about who am I comes in a way and is grounded in not only that question, who am I, is really knowing in the first place that I am. Because without acknowledging I am, it's difficult to ask who am I. So the I am is a state of awareness, it's a state of consciousness. The I am. This is a state that what I call the me doesn't really have a grip of. The consciousness that is me simply talks about me, and it all revolves around bodily needs in particular, the me. But the I am is a different state of consciousness. Now, we want to deal with identity. The I that claims itself to be in a state of existence, where I can say I am. There must be ways that it can identify itself. And there are different levels of perception. There's physical perception and there's a psychic way of perceiving. So physical perception means that the eye have to have a certain look. Physiologically organized and have a certain type. Now, the system that we're engaging in now, plantation society coming out of enslavement, never really necessarily give African people an opportunity to come into contact with the force that is the I am. Because that requires a bit of meditation to bring to the consciousness the power of I am. Because I am is a stage, and there's a higher stage of consciousness that the I can move to. For example, I will. Moving from just existing to a state of action. Now, within those terms, the education system that exposes I and I to life don't really inform me much about the being that we are, because this experience is coming from being conditioned to be conditioned as a slave, as a worker, as a unit of labor. So that kind of condition don't require no I-ness, no I consciousness. If you develop I consciousness there, now you're going to slow down the labor, because the I might begin to ask all kind of questions. And start question the conditions of labor and start ask these things, and them start tell you, that individual now is a troublemaker, because you see the I is beginning to engage in thinking. The point now I really want to get to know is, when we talk about the identity idea that surrounds the I, the energy within, we get a training and we get a teaching that tell us that, yeah, well, we are all in this thing called life. And this life that we are in, we are parts of life. And there are different kingdoms to life. And the basic two kingdoms that they tell us, because usually two things them tell you, so we have to end up choosing either or either. They always lock us into a binary. Pardon. So we get conditioned to think within a binary, either or either. So then they tell us now that within the kingdom of life, there are only two forms. And they say that one form is considered to be plants, and the other form are animals. And we hold on to that dearly. We don't even question that, because that is nothing to question. That was given to us by the almighty educators. The mighty scholars in Europe defined that, well, we have agreed and we have finalized that there are two forms of life, kingdoms of life, animals and there are plants. Now, as time evolved, the same set among them realized that there's a kingdom that even precedes the plant kingdom, which the plant kingdom needs for its own survival. And they discovered the kingdom of the minerals. So there are minerals and there are plants and there are animals, so the number goes to 3. And we don't really go any further because I don't investigate any of these ideas about for ourselves. So if you ask any man generally whether him is a plant or an animal, him going to laugh after you. I must say, what kind of idiot question that? Me no must an animal. That has been as the socialization. And that's what has been internalized by nearly each individual, that him is an animal. And then the education system encourages you to think that you're not just an animal, you're the highest form of animal. Yeah, so you kind of get more comfortable now. So you're a highest form of animal. I said to the item now, within this metamorphosis, I want to explore the nature of these ideas about being a higher form of an animal and look further into this concept of the kingdom of life. Because the animal kingdom, we are told, has the highest form expressed as a human being. That a human now is the highest form of animal life expressed on the planet. And so nearly everybody now would tell you that, yes, they are human beings. Will you say I is not a human being. I is not a human being. And within this metamorphosis, I will establish why I, man, is not a human being. And that if we examine the term even to a certain level, we will check our ancient African culture and our black history, that term is alien. The term human being is something recent, and we're going to go into it. Metamorphosis. Yeah, we want to go into a set of exploration that in general might never come to your mind to even question, because there's nothing to question about it. The whole notion of being identified and identifying yourself now as a human being. Like I must say, I wonder where I'm gonna talk about. Them in a human being, what in a human being, everybody born human being, blah 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 blah, human being, a human being, alright? The first time I see the term human being, you know, I never know what the word, the word was being, you know. I used to hear human being. The being there in my mind was B-E-A-N, a human being. And then I saw hear the difference. No, them say it's not, no, it's human being. It's B-E-I-N-G. I'm going to say, oh, it's a human being. Do we know what a being is? What is a being? What is a human? We'll hear what go now. I get it. And I realize that, yeah, it just put on us and we just hold it and we are go through. But a virgin, you know, while I was in the North American jungle there living, you know, and I virgin them used to have some serious reasoning while we went to university and have hands on research and checking out history of races and people and thing. One of my virgin them, he was the man with the languages, my 7 languages and all kind of arts. And I'm going to Europe. Them time we living in America, so he's the first one out of our group go into the depths of the North American, of this European continent. And when they come forward, you know, if I describe the kind of characters they meet in them places, some really Snow White looking man and man shaped like ape and man with hearing them and miggle, all kind of drama. So we really perplexed because we know about the white man in America. We don't know how brutal and wicked, you know. But this description here, you know, and this is the 4th time back in, the virgin said to me, boy, Rastaman tell me something long time in them. Say, Rastaman tell me, say, boy, human is not man, you know. I mean, I say, sit to my virgin Jim. I say, what you say? Him say, yeah, man. Him say, long time in that Jamaica, Rastaman tell him that. Say, human is not man. And so it's the first time now I'm going to take up this and to really look deeper and clearer into what this thing, what it really could have meant to say a human is not man. And being oriented by religion. You know, the first place I had to go and look now was in the Bible to really find out how this terminology works. And it didn't take me long to realize that the story of the Genesis talk about in the beginning and when God decided to do everything as him said, let us make man. Males and females created he them and commanded them to go out and to multiply and to breed up and have enough picnic. Children. So I say man, the term alone, just based upon the religious book where them give you as book of truth. As something where them say God make man. But further down in the book, we're not so sure where in the book now we get any more reference about anything other than man. So the human being not really even mentioned in the Bible. So that was just one source. And I realized no, there must be more than one way to verify these ideas. So them give it 2 fields again, you know. Again, they give it 2 dimensions to explore. It's religion and science. So I'm going to have to go to science now to try to find out, no, what is it that is different if they are not the same? And here is where it became very interesting. Because the Europeans do accept and acknowledge that they are human beings. And they have set out to explain how human beings came into being. They have set it out through their own theories and their own explanation. And I want them to recognize that you're either internalizing the theories of the European about his own anthropology, or you have to know your own. And a key figure now in explaining the anthropology of the European was Charles Darwin. And Darwin kicked off the pot off of the fire and exposed the relationship now between the Europeans and the primates. So the connection exposed the ape man. And the ape man really appeared to be a sort of missing link between man and the animals. Thinking it through. Are you a human being? Metamorphosis.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. STYLZ FM.
Take STYLZ FM with you on the go. The number for USA 213-992-4360. That's 213-992-4360. And for the United Kingdom, 033-0010-3322. That's 033-0010-3322.
STYLZ FM.
It's here, people. It's here. It's a massive paint sale at Ram Tools Hardware at 34 Folly Road, Port Antonio. We stock a wide range of brands and colors. BH, Berger, and Sherwin-Williams. Come and get up to 25% off. Yes, up to 25% off. We're open 7 days per week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Contact us today at 715-5132 or 715-5134. Come and experience the 3 C's: comfort, competitive prices, and convenience. It's Ram Tools Hardware massive main sale from November 1st to December 31st.
It's Wow Factor Tuesdays with Chungy and Shelly. Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's entertainment and interaction at its best. With features like the Share to Care segment, the Uprising 10 Countdown, and the ever-controversial Love Break. Yes, it's the Wow Factor. Your Tuesday mornings will never be the same again.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Ditchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them at 285-0610 for more information.
Yeah, we're working on our liberation in our own intelligence. The earth is the foundation upon which all things are established, as far as I know. The earth that we live on, this is the foundation. You know, the people from the Aeronautics Space Association of North America, they just sent up a rocket to just reach Mars, you know, and it just did a soft landing on Mars to do a different type of research. So we are quite aware that there are other bodies and systems beyond this planet, but at the moment this is the homeland. This is our home base. This is our paradise. This is home. And home meaning the extent and expanse of this planet. Planet Earth. We don't even know if that is the name, because Earth don't bring no pleasure. Yeah, even that could be a scam name. Because when you hear Earth, all I think of is pain. So even that maybe need to be investigated and provide a sound that is more uplifting for the place that we live. So the foundation of it now is really the earth, the soil, because you're either on the land or in the water. And on the land is where we talk about the minerals. Minerals not just to provide nutrition, but minerals provide resources to build societies and civilization. These things are in the earth. So you have to begin to value the earth. If you're really going to talk about your personal nutrition and the building of a society and a community. So minerals are an important resource. And that is why the Europeans and the Chinese and all of these races have such a great interest in the continent of Africa. Because it is the richest continent in the world as it relates to minerals. So there is a kingdom of minerals, both at the figurative and at the literal level. So within the earth, it is the minerals that come together and create the nutrients that the plants will need and the plants will grow. So the foundation is the minerals. The next stage of the processing of the earth and its habitat is the plant kingdom. Because the plant kingdom, we know, is vital to providing atmosphere for respiration. So the plant kingdom, when we examine it as African people, we begin to find closeness already to how the plants are structured in the way how African people are structured. There's a closeness that is impossible to ignore. That closeness is based upon the cellular structure of the plants and the cellular structure in the skin of the black people. I don't talk about the plant kingdom, I talk about the green plants. Because all the other plants are parasites. So the green plants have some functions that are similar to the African people. And we talk about now the activities called pigmentation, driven by the sun and is driven and motivated by the cells that are in the skin. The skin cells of the black man is no different from the cells of the plant, of the green plant and the leaves. The leaves are similar to the skin cells of the black man. So we recognize that there's a closer link to the plants by African people than the people who are from Europe. Europeans have no relationship to green plants. They will be like the other plants in the kingdom of plants that are non-green. So the difference now in the trajectory now is that what happens now when you move consciousness to the next level now, where we reach the level where we're going to call people. Because what the European is trying to insist is that man, divine, original man, is not a kingdom unto itself. And they have brought the African people as a race of man into this kingdom of the animals. But for careful now, because it's them and them intellectual scientists, and it's them and them reasoning. So what you really find now is that the concept of man, which is not a singular concept. The singular concept is male. So the concept of man includes females and males. That is what has been squeezed up into this animal kingdom. And out of this animal kingdom now comes this evolution of the primates. So them show you that the highest form of the primate now is the human being, the Homo sapien. Them give you a projection of evolved men coming from the primates. You have a man that they call the Australopithecus man. You have another fossil that them find that they call the Java man. and the Peking man. And after they cover their thousands and thousands of years, they arrive at the Homo erectus, which is the ape that is now standing up erect, the Homo erectus. And that Homo erectus now would evolve into a Homo sapien. And it is a Homo sapien now that is being called the human being. And I'm saying, Rastaman, black people, Africans, we're not a part of that. We're not a part of that projection coming out of the primates. Because I was on the continent living for thousands of years. And the primates have always been here. And I have always been here. So something happened why the primates underwent this evolution that would become Homo sapien. And will become what they tell you that you are now, a human being. So African people now, if they embrace this ideology, they will begin to no longer call themselves Africans or members of an African race. Because the scam now is that there is no African race. The big scam is that now everybody belongs to the human race. So if you watch your teachings now, if you watch the propaganda, this human race concept is something very recent. The concept of man is the ancient foundation. It is the root word, man. And there are prefixes and there are suffixes in the English language. K-I-N-D is a suffix that means type of. So you have mankind, which is a kind of a man. It's not man, you know. And there is a prefix, hue. And if you add the prefix hue to man, you get human, which is still not man. So, black man must begin to know themselves now as man. And the man is not a single male. Man is a race to which I belong to. And there are other races on the earth. And the foundation race is man, because out of man, melanin, original man, you can see the evolution of skin pigmentation. You can see the evolution to what they call Indian man, same melanin man. Climatic conditions make the hair and certain things different. And there's almost like the bleached out melanin man, which is oriental. So they call him the yellow skin man. These three races are not of what you call a European foundation. These three races are grounded in pigmentation. These are the races of man. So when you read the book that they give us as the creation mythology, it is out of this dispersion of man to multiply and replenish the earth. Why we get all these different races, the Africans and the Indians, grounded in melanin. The explanation that gives us the genesis of the European is what they have told us. They are descendants of the primates. They are descendants of the apes. They are Homo sapien. They are human beings. African man must begin to make that distinction. I realize I is no human being. I is man. Capital M, capital A, capital N. Metamorphosis.
It's only inflation all over.
there is a term that you need to know. It's called Australopithecus. And Australopithecus is one of the longest lived and best known early human species. And paleontologists, the man who studied them thing, they uncover remains of more than 300 individuals found between 3.8 and 2.95 million years ago. Australopithecus is of the order of the primates, and the kingdom of the Australopithecus is the kingdom of the animals. And it is from this movement of the Australopithecus man that we arrive ultimately at the Homo sapien. And it is this lineage now them telling black people now that we are a part of. And that we have this monkey lineage, when it is the Europeans that have the monkey blood. It is the Europeans that have the RH factor. 95% of Europeans have the RH factor. RH means the shortage for rhesus. And rhesus is a monkey type of monkey. So when we begin to get a clarity about our identity and realize who we really are, that there is a kingdom that has a higher capacity than the animal kingdom. That kingdom is the kingdom of man. And the fundamental difference is that the kingdom of man has powers of intuition and imagination, creativity, that could create a calendar, that could build a pyramid. The animals have their potentials, but there seem to be some points where they don't seem to have the need to create beyond what them need. They seem to be satisfied in their routine and maintenance of their existence and perpetuate themselves. The divine man has a creative mind, and that mind is connected to the environment and their cosmic consciousness, and so there are powerful ideas and thoughts that run through the divine man. This other thing now that we hear called human being, we have to recognize what it is, where it come from, and how come it have so much power in the world today. Where does human being come from, and how it becomes in charge of so many things. To the extent that the original dominant people are called non-white. So it's like you have 7 billion people in the world, and the great majority, 95% of that 7 billion, is the melanin people, and those are the people who are being identified as non-white. You would think that it is the minority that would be described as non-black. You would think that it is a dominant that would be upfront. But they classify the majority as in the negative. So the non-white people, feeling inferior because of the negation attached to the condition that they are in. They are non-white. Well, I'm telling them it is that group that is non-black. Because the black is the dominant and the black is the supreme. What is required then is a type of consciousness within your own identity. So the animal vibrations that Sigmund Freud and Charles Darwin insist is not a part of our culture. And I have no animal instincts. And I have no animal passions. All those things are what the Europeans put on us. So we're shaking it off and redefining through the metamorphosis.
Who were the founders of science and This conspiracy will not last. 'Cause we know our history. Who built the pyramid? We are from the Nile Valley. Tell the truth to humanity. We all know your aim. Come on, historian. We all have a claim to fame. Time to tell the world now, We all know your aim. Come on, historian. We all have a claim to fame. We know our history. Who built the pyramid? We are from the Nile Valley. Tell the truth to humanity. Left from the north to the south to the west. Victims of persecution and conquest. But we know our history.
Yeah, we got to know our story. This is the section, our story, Alkibulan, Kimit, where we, within the metamorphosis, make that journey through time and space and mind to arrive at a place where we can settle our consciousness and actually be in touch with ourselves at a distance, in a distant place. But I also want to use this moment now not just to speak about ancient Egypt, but something more contemporary, because Iman never really know much about these people who are in these regions of Southeast Asia that are on places that you call India or near India, but it's Africans, black people. Iman never really. I used to hear about these people who live on this island who, isolate themselves from the rest of the world because for the reasons that they know best. And they have been there for 20,000 years and therefore it's some people who have to really recognize and fit them into our story. Because if they are there 20,000 years, man, that is longer than from Adam Mek. That's longer than the Christian world. That's longer than a lot of events that we are told that even happen in Africa, on the continent itself. And what is very essential to really factor in now as we hear the news is not just to just read the news and jump up and get excited. It's how to make some connections in time and improve your knowledge of the whole picture. Because here we have now a Caucasian white boy, missionary him call himself. And he has taken upon himself to commit his life to go around telling people about the importance of Jesus. And here you have some people here living now 20,000 years now in their own existence and quite contented and healthy. And here comes an alien now with a diseased body. Not only coming with a diseased physical body, coming with a diseased philosophy. And then people are now, through whole heap of experience, realizing them don't want nobody come near them place. Nobody must come on them island. And the white man can't accept that. And I mean, God, in the Jesus name, because it's Jesus, of course, is a great protector. Well, him pick up some arrows and then bury him in the sand. And the fishermen who carry them over there, them arrest the fisherman them too, because them violate the whole concept too. They know that the man them don't want no aliens come amongst them. You see, if I and people in the States are from the first time Europeans come amongst we, maybe we wouldn't have the problem we have today now, but we were maybe too accommodating. We let them in, that them have taken over. And we are now at the hands of the people who decide to help. So we have to look into Africa now, and African people, and what our experience has been. These people are called Andamese. And when you hear about them, in India. You think there's Indians around there. It's black people, African people. And it's not even so much African now, It's really black people. Because they may not necessarily have any connection to the continent. I mean, I really want to be identified in that terms of being African, because they are who they are. They are the STYLZ people. But one thing you can't deny, that they are black, deeply melanin people. And them have them culture, them have them practices, them have them society. And because of the disrespect of the Christian philosophy, where it feels that it is the most superior. It goes around promoting itself as the superior. And when you examine the superiority of it, it's grounded in immorality, it's grounded in corruption, it's grounded in pedophile behavior. The whole thing is grounded in control. So, we could pay attention to ourselves through other people who really us, living in a different place, different part of the planet, yet being invaded by the same thing that has overpowered us in this Western world. And every time I rise up against it, them say you're being, you're blaspheming. So the virgin, who go and give up his life in the name of Jesus, more people must go to that. Yeah, man, you must sacrifice your life if you think that this thing is so important. But you say, know that there are people who have their own philosophy, and they will die for it. They will die for it. And this brethren here, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. And apparently, it's not the first time I'm trying to go there. I'm trying to sneak in there a couple of times before, and it never worked. Very persistent. And as a youth, I used to read about Livingston and Stanley, two white men who went into the middle Africa and get sick and get whole heap of assistance and help. And eventually, the man they conquer away. So there's something to learn. And it's something that these people obviously had learned long time ago and not willing to make the same mistake twice. Metamorphosis.
Dafa munjul dafnin rafet yom wentame da ingama getting dafnin rafet yom wentame da ingara dafnin rafet yom wentame da ingara. Did you know that's a richer Africa? Did you know that's a richer Africa? Did you know said the whole world love it? Did you know said the whole world love it? Be proud of your culture, be proud of that what you got, be proud you got to hold on to it. Walking down the road in a Germany, reggae music playing, and this is what one man was saying. Was ist denn das? Was ich da höre? Ich kann nicht anders, muss einfach tanzen. Das Stück der Reggae, manchmal macht man ein bisschen lauter. Niemals in meinem Leben habe ich so etwas gehört. Meine Damen und Herren und alle Brüder und Schwestern, ich muss euch jetzt verlassen, weil ich fliege nach Jamaika.
Now this missionary, his name is John Allen Chow, C-H-A-U. And the police now, the Indian police, along with the Americans, because this is an American missionary now, they are now trying to recover the body now. And the man, them bury the body in the sand and make the people and make them know from a distance that them don't want nobody come near them. So there's that kind of standoff now. This is a serious thing going on in the world, And the Indian police now, they are suggesting that they may not retrieve the American missionaries' bodies. And the undisturbed tribe which kill him, them don't want to disturb the tribe because they are a treasure to the people. These are called STYLZ. So the missionary know, them same write some memos, and one of the memos him write was, God, I don't want to die. Yeah, he wrote that just before he was killed. So now, all of a sudden, his faith disappear when reality face him. Because the tribesman, them let off some arrows in him. Here he is in a remote Indian Ocean island. the people, the undermined people living in them privacy and them own state of being and culture. And here comes this white missionary, come to tell the people about Jesus. And when him see him going dead, he must have said the same thing like when Jesus said on the cross. Why God, you forsake me right now, or you make me dead? Because the reality is that there is no resurrection. You're dead. And it's that face enough of these people who promoting this idea of resurrection and life after death and all these things. When the physical expire and when there's no more breath, it's done. And there's nothing to save you. Because there's nothing that can be saved. You have to breathe your last breath. So, the missionaries, this is a message to the missionaries. Leave the people alone. And all those who coming around our people house at Sunday daytime, knocking on them gate and coming with them things, and you better cut it out. And find better things to do with themselves than trying to convince people. Because the brethren, what you were trying to do, declare Jesus to these people. What, I mean, think about it. Look where these people are. And because some book tell them about the whole corners of the world must hear his name. Well, you see? So them carry him name right there, so? All right. Take heed.
Economic liberation is a duty I owe to posterity. Great Zimbabwe stands, ancient rock solid firm. Come now, Draco go down. Great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls. When they saw Zimbabwe walls, they said it was the foundation. They said it was a Syrian. They said it was a Chinese. When they saw Zimbabwe wall, they said it came from the Iberian. We know it is 100% African. Yaga yo, naga naga na Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls. So who your Vasco de Gama be? So who Prince Henry the Navigator be? So who was yours? So Walter Raleigh. So who was Amerigo Vespucci? Some kind of Johnny come lately, talking about them make some kind of discovery. Iman is the living anthropology. Iman is the living archaeology. Yaga yaga yo, Zimbabwe wall, real Zimbabwe wall, Zimbabwe wall, great Zimbabwe walls.
Yeah, the history and the power of the continent is not just in Egypt and Ethiopia. There is the construction of the great walls in Zimbabwe that the same white men say were built by aliens. All the things them find constructed on the continent, is not the African black man build that, according to the Europeans. Because their ideologies consistently try to establish that they are the superior beings. They are the highest form of animals. They are the human beings. And they have also tried to define the black man as within the American constitutional framework as 2/3 of a human being. 2/3, and I'm saying no, the other 1/3. What is that other 1/3? I'm saying that other 1/3 is our divinity. Is that has been keeping us alive. As they have been trying to pull us into this world of being full-time animals. It's been that 2/3 definition shows that we're not fully human, we're not fully like them. We will never be like them. But it's how to unmask them and get them out of our system. Now, as I say, there's also Western Africa, the University of Timbuktu, and the knowledge of the Islamic culture. High Islamic culture of knowledge within the western section of the continent. So the continent is not an island, It's not a country. It's over 53, 54 countries. And now that they have developed a better way to make maps. The cartographers are the men who make maps. They usually make the map with Europe at the center of the map and everything move away at a distance. So everything near Europe always look big. With the greater technology now, they're able to put proper maps out there now. And all of a sudden you realize that Africa is bigger than Iceland. Africa is closer to South America. We begin to see the world in a different perspective because much of it is controlled by the Europeans. What they draw and what they tell us. Now, sometime last week, the mystery point of the earth continues to be ancient Egypt. And they have gone there and they have dug up and they have dug up and they have found another half a dozen tombs, sarcophagus they call them. This time now, these tombs are untouched, meaning perfectly preserved. Nice, even when you see the pictures, man, nice artwork. And there are mummies inside. Now, how do white Europeans bring mummy to we is something for us to be afraid of. When you hear about mummy, you think about something scary. What do you think, Cassidy? When you hear about the mummy, it don't sound like something you don't want to hug up. Yeah, the mummy, and the meme of some movies called The Mummy, you know. And it's all about some frightening business. But they say the concept of the mummy is just to frighten black people out of their own culture, you know, out of their own knowledge. Yeah, mummy. I hear me now. I imagine we call our mother's mummy. It just dawned on me, you know, that we end up calling our mother's mummy. You see, the mummy represents one of the highest forms of science ever on the planet Earth. Yeah, one of the highest forms of science demonstrated by the presence and the existence of a mummy. So in other words, now when the European them lift off the thing and open, some of them just get a knockout and dead, you know, because the amount of radiation and energy come out of them case, they, you know, lick them over, you know, kill some of them, you know. Because there are powers now within the sarcophagus. And what I mean by powers now, I not talk about now what you call science. It's well, it is scientific. So it's science. But here how it works, and I'm saying I could think about it for a while. The ancients, these tombs that they find, they've dated it to be around 3,500 years before the Christian era. In other words, before the Jesus of Nazareth, 3,500 years before, 4,000 years before, these things were established, these tombs, and these bodies were put into the pharaohs' bodies were put into these tombs 4,000 years ago, 4,000 BC. But you see, we're living in 2018. So if you add the 2,000 to the 4,000 years before, that's a 6,000 year period. So easily we can see the ancients 6,000 years ago performing mummification. Now, what is mummification? I tell you them now, it's perhaps the highest science. Because what really happened? I don't know about why people being mummified, you know. It's always black skinned people. Because what is demonstrated is the ability to preserve the skin. The entire body is drained out. All of the organs are removed at death. And all that come down to is skin. It's the skin now the science preserves. And if you ever look up this chemistry, and this chemistry is spelled Khemistry. This is black science. When them spell CHEM, because them don't want us to know, so it's really from the Kemetic people. It's a Kemetic science, it's chemistry. And this chemistry knows everything to be able to preserve the black man's skin for 6,000 years. You think about that in the Rasta, 6,000 years. And when you open that tomb, that skin is still alive. And it suggests that when the black man dies, the last thing that possibly dies is the skin. Yet, we are unconscious of that. and we bury the man in the grave because him get a shot in him head. Well, I want to tell you something. I tell my people, let me know. Me no want a box and a worm come eat my skin, you know, because when me bad out, nobody can hear me. Ashes. Metamorphosis.
Like a beautiful stream. Hey, hey, it's here in this world and it's reigning supreme. Because of this something that keeps on glittering. Because of this something, so many people are fighting. Knowledge and wisdom will lead us to freedom. Hey, hey, let us seek first the heavenly kingdom. Because of this something that keeps on glittering. Because of this something, so many people are fighting. Because of this something that keeps on glittering. Because of this something, so many people are fighting. Sodom and Gomorrah, we don't wanna see. Mama world empire, don't wanna see the world turn into a cemetery. Don't wanna see the world turn into a cemetery. Because of this something that keeps on glittering. Because of this something, so many people are fighting. Because of this something that keeps on glittering.
Well, questions are coming through into the WhatsApp. Shawnette S. She's saying, asking to name something, whether tangible or intangible, animate or inanimate. Name something that exists, that never started in the mind of a particular individual. Yes, so they're asking, can anybody name something, whether it's tangible or not, whether it's animate or inanimate? In other words, whether it have life or not, whether they can touch it or not, can such a thing begin outside of the mind of an individual? And then now there's another question now from no name, but a whole heap of argument. Is African a race or nationality? Or is Negro the race? The person goes on to say, considering that Jamaican is not a race, but the nationality of one who is a citizen of Jamaica, is there a Chinese Jamaican or Chinese African or white African? I know there is no well, I'm going to say there's something more. I know that there is no white Negro. All right. Okay. What qualifies a Jamaican as African? Seeing that the slave masters, many Jamaicans' forefathers were not Africans? Well, that's a question. Is nationality traced by patriarchal lineage or matriarchal? The person goes on to say, by jolly. It's a very English thing now. If it is through the patriarchy, many of us are English. Okay. Well, is African a race or a nationality? All right. You know, I'm on debate that amongst I myself quite a while amongst my brethren. And my conclusion is that nationality is really the land. You get the identity of your nationality from the land. And so if the land is Africa, then the people who are born on that land will have the authority and the right to call themselves Africans. So from that perspective now, the term African, just like the term Jamaican, would refer to a nationality. So what then would be the identity that is deeper than nationality? We'd have to go into what is their racial identity. Because again, we have different levels of identity. And at the level of race now, we begin to identify the race, not based upon the land, but based upon your physiological construction and your phenotype and your looks and those type of things. And so we end up recognizing race as being black, and black meaning melanin, meaning pigmented. So the black is not a color, the black is a state of conditioning, it's a state of nature that the people hold, and it's expressed in the skin. So I'm saying now, the European who goes to the continent of Africa and spends 100 years there and have children, the children will begin to call themselves Africans because that's where they're born, but they really can't define themselves as black because their race and identity still remains European no matter where they're born. And I think the same thing applies to the Chinese. The Chinese who's born in Jamaica would identify themselves as a Chinese Jamaican. But he holds on to his roots, which is race. Same thing goes for the Indian. So that me really say about that. Hail up Rastris and hail up Ricardo Porteous, who can spell out off his head and call out off his head 182 letters word. Only cats they know what that means. All right, so we're looking. Yeah, we're looking into the powers that we can gather out of understanding the history of the ancients and the idea of time and space and blackness, knowing that as much as we speak about ancient Egypt, we have to move beyond the idea of just Moses and Egypt. That is not what Egypt is about. And these tombs that I've just opened, we're going to reveal more things about I and I as black people. And it's not by accident that the Europeans try to take Egypt out of Africa and let Egyptians appear to be a place wherein is white people in control. It's not white people are the foundation of Egypt. Egypt is a black culture. And as time goes beyond what the Bible gives us as age, because these tombs are 6,000 years old. And so the history of the chemistry to do that mummification is perhaps another 10,000 years old. So we can look through these findings without waiting on the Europeans to tell us what they find and interpret it, and realize that we are here 10, 20,000 years. Just the signs of mummification and finding these mummies can easily show us 20,000 years of African history just there in Egypt. And that alone overthrows the history presented as the Bible, as world history. Because the Bible history tells us that the world is 6,000 years old. Is it that Africans have been locked into a time zone? Are we prisoners of our time warp where we have to free our own selves? And the evidence is there. Thousands of years of existence. Metamorphosis.
Alongside the mystical villas. Now Blizzard is the man that walking on the coast of the garden and see the sky fall. Now stand the ways of sinners. Oh, religion. Why is the light to the laugh the land? And the laugh the land doesn't meditate day and night. Do remember that God they are not so. Our man like soldier alongside Billy Mystic say. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Step up, Billy Mistake. Come tell about religion. If you don't know, Lord, the things that I know. Babylon taking my division. I know, and the Bible says so. You can't come tell about religion. If you don't know, Lord, the things that I know. Babylon taking my division. I know, see, it was you. Just like scribes and the Pharisees, you never knew. No, no. When Christ come, that's the way he would be. Couldn't take Natty J riding in a Palm Sunday. You couldn't take Natty J riding in a Palm Sunday. And man, you want to come tell about religion, and you don't know all the things that I know. Babylon taking a division. So listen, Storgy, I'll make him tell you.
Yeah, we in another section that we try to deconstruct allegories and mythologies and nursery rhymes and fables. And religion is an important feature to explore. But I want to return to one of the questions that Shawnette S. forwarded, because she was asking, is Negro a race? Or Negroid? Is the Negro concept of the Negroid a race? And that's a good question, and one that maybe even those who within the realm of consciousness need to be able to answer clearly. Because obviously it relates again to your identity. How do you identify yourself? Are you a Negro? And what is a Negro? Where does the term come from? In the same way you ask, where does a human being come from? Where does Negro come from? So we search, again, we search the religious texts and we search the scientific journals to get help us define what are these terms, Negro and human being. Well, the term Negro now we know that again we go into the holy book of reference and we hear that God said, let us make man. At no time did God make Negroes, and at no time did the Creator make human beings. So if we check again now into the scientific frame of reference, and we see that, you know, again the Europeans tell us that there's the evolution of apes into the primates and the human beings, and then we still don't see a Negro yet. So what then is a Negro? What is a Negro? Well, them tell us that the Negro are the people who are black-skinned. So the black-skinned human beings, they call them Negroes. The dark-skinned human beings, the Europeans say those are Negroes. So if you begin to explore this old identity that has been imposed upon the people now, before the Europeans make these dark-skinned peoples, the word Negro never even apply and exist in any serious term, because the people had them identity based upon the continent and the land on which they lived. So this Negro thing now is an alien term, and it was put on the people of black pigmentation, because the Spanish in their language for black, they would use the term Negro. But the language Spanish doesn't really have its genesis right there. It has a root. And the root word to Negro coming out of the Greek is necro. N-E-C-R-O. So it's like necro evolved to negro. And at the foundation of the meaning, necro really means dead. That's why you have necromancy and necrophilia. It's a prefix. So psychologically, what these people were doing is identifying a whole race of people as a dead race. A race of Negroes. And if you check the land where the people come from, the Chinaman come from China. And you ask the Indians where they come from, them say India. You even ask the Europeans where them come from, they say Europe. You ask the Negro where them come from, there is no such place called Negroland. Negroland does not exist. The lands that we know are the lands of the continent of Africa, or the continent of Ethiopia, based upon whose term you want to use, because again, those are European constructions. The ancients call the place Alkebulan. Some call it the Black Continent, the land of the black people, Atlantis, all different terminologies that speak to the blackness of the people. So the identity issue becomes vital. And when we look into the stories that we get now, stories that we get to help us to define whether we are Negroes, whether we are Africans, whether we're black, it has been thrown around. And there are times over in the last couple of decades where the African man was contented with being called a Negro. And then there was a time of rebellion to that. And there was a time when he was black and then he became a hyphenated citizen of a country. So he became Black American or African American. All kind of things I ain't going through. But ultimately, them tell you say you're a human being. So when that struggle is all over, you lock up into the human being bag. So unless we reawaken ourselves and re-identify who we are, it's very difficult to come out of this. And the evidence is clear that people who don't know themselves will be used by others who are conscious of who they are. So the slave system will always continue. So the religious ideas now that's set up to help us deal with identity. If you notice that in the world of Christianity, there is no real notion of race. Because if you introduce race into Christianity and you get into the Genesis, you have to ask the question, what was the race of Adam? If you accept that this was a first male, then he had to have a racial features. And nobody wants to engage with that because you're going to, something going to trigger off, somebody going to get missing. And some race will be in a position to claim to be the original. Time is an important essence if we want to know ourselves. And as I said earlier in the program, there's a story that we all hold on to that gives us a basis for the beginning of society. And there's a place that we have been given. And I'm saying in the item, I have no evidence that this place really existed outside of the mind of the writer. This place is called the Garden of Eden. Where is it? What is it? Is it a myth? Is it a fantasy? Is it a place that black people can rest comfortably knowing that this is a genesis of society out of which we emerge? Or is it something that we have to revisit? What happened in the story now outside of the garden? Because this Garden of Eden is in everybody's brain. Something take place there. There are events and activities and people in there. Ultimately, the party shut down. Lord God locked down the party and put some guards to guard it and send everybody out. What happened now when these two people came out? Is that we too? Is that how we see ourselves in existence? Coming out of this place with these two foundation members of society? And they will come out and have 3 sons. Where will the rest of people come from to populate that world? Are we talking about incest? Is that how black people internalize in the beginning of society? We're just revisiting the Garden of Eden.
DIB, DIB, DIB rocks. DIB has your paints in stock throughout this Christmas and all the year through. DIB has the paints for you.
Yes, now until December 31st, visit any DIB location and save up to 30% off Berger Magic Coat. Get a gallon of Berger for as low as $1,330. Get up to 20% off your favorite brands.
Berger, Penta BH, the paint sale will be great.
For the widest variety of paint tools, find these savings at DIB Buff Bay, DIB St. Margaret's Bay, DIB William Street, and DIB Home Center West Palm. This Christmas, don't miss out on this massive paint sale at DIB Hardware and DIB Home Center.
That's 'cause DIB rocks.
DIB, we do it best.
business operators, local and overseas. This announcement is for you.
STYLZ FM is an internationally known radio network with worldwide listeners in over 120 countries.
From our studio in Port Antonio, Jamaica, to the ears of the people in your community, our listeners can be your new customers.
STYLZ FM is an economical, efficient, and effective advertising option for your business.
No matter the size of your business, there's always growth potential. STYLZ FM provides the customer reach needed to realize that upward movement.
So procrastinate no more. Advertising is a must.
For more details on how to advertise with STYLZ FM, visit www.stylzfm.com or email info@stylzfm.com or call us on 876-518-2399.
STYLZ FM, the world listens.
Guess what? STYLZ FM has a new business number for you to call, text, and now WhatsApp. 518-2399. To advertise your business and events, call, text, or WhatsApp us on
518-2399. 518-2399.
Don't forget, 518-2399.
For complete auto repairs and services, come to Akon Auto Technology, located at 33 Bumble Crescent, Port Antonio, Jamaica. We offer specialist services in wheel alignment and wheel balancing, brake drum and disc rotary servicing, state-of-the-art ultrasonic cleaning and testing of your fuel injectors. We also stock an assorted range of auto service parts, tires, and motorcraft batteries. If we don't have it, we will source it for you. Call us at 876-715-5205 or email AkonAutoTech16@gmail.com. Akon Auto Technology, beyond the typical auto mechanic shop.
Planning a party, club night out, stage show, a gospel concert, or even a business sales event? Let STYLZ FM be a part of your promoting tool. Take advantage of our low-priced promotion packages with commercials, interviews, giveaways, reviews, and much more. We have special offers when you mix and match and bundle your options. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. STYLZ FM for the most effective way to exploit your marketing dollar.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Ditchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them at 285-0610 for more information.
Yes, Metamorphosis coming through. Dr. Iman Blak here. Investigating a thing that is oftentimes not considered to be even important because it don't really bring the money into your pocket and it don't change nothing too tough. So we don't have to really go into that. We can leave it alone. But you see, because it was considered to be so important by those who control, we have to begin to look at it and see what is so significant about these stories that we have been holding on to. Are those stories holding us in one spot? Why, as a group, we're unable to move? Individually, people make movements, but within the group, within the race, there's no collective movement. So if we look into what is it all of us have been told, and I'm saying between the age 0 and 5, all of us get a similar set of stories. Between Sunday school and kindergarten, the program seems to be very, very similar. Yeah, between Sunday school and kindergarten, between ages 0 and 5 for black people, globally the thing look like it's set. There's a formula. And in those stories, there are some concepts that are planted in our subconscious brain that just have us running almost automatic. And I'm saying that one of the places that we need to check out is how is it we come to the conclusion or the knowledge of the foundation of what the world society has been built on. In other words, what has been the genesis of society. We get a story in the Bible of chapter 1 as the genesis of the world, of the earth and of the moon and the stars and the life forms and the various kingdoms. But then the next stage, society. What is the history of society and the planet? Where and what was the first society? And so that give us these little information through stories. And unlike the caveman who talk about Flintstones and that was the beginning of their caveman society, it is the word of religion that imprints our mind with a society beginning in a place called the garden. This is going to the beginning of society, a garden in a place called Eden. And Eden is east of somewhere else, and we don't know where Eden is. So I'm saying from the first giddy up, is it real? Is it like the North Pole where Santa Claus live? Is that what Eden is? Something mythological, something that is created in the imagination of a writer. And that story is very, very impressive. And we hear about the characters in the garden, the work, who was the gardener, who was the helper, who was the deceiver. We see serpents talking, we see things going on, one deceiving, we see all kind of things going on, people walking around naked, people discovering so them not want to clothes. All kind of things going on in the garden. It's like a big orgy going on in the garden. And when Lord God come and so I go on him get vexed on the side if he just run everybody out and lock it up. And put some things to guard it, some cherubims and seraphims. And so the God, right now I don't know where the garden is. I'd love to know where the garden is now. We just know say lock away, hide away. Where is that garden now? Because in that garden now is locked away the tree of life, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We put a tree locked up in the garden. Where is that garden? Is it a real place on the planet Earth? Because we hear say it has been locked down and closed down and the two people them get run out. And when the two people get run out now, we as people in our consciousness, we tend to want to run out with these people thinking that they are our forefathers and foremothers and our most ancient ancestors. Black people don't come out in the garden with no two people being chased out in the garden, and that is our genesis. That is crazy. That is insanity. And I'm saying Christianity is really the highest form of insanity because it is based upon an insane story. So these people now, as a matter of fact, when you look deeper into the story, you wonder the woman make big, or she was a little girl and she grew up. You know, like Eve. Was Eve a little baby first and she grew up into a big woman, or she just make big? All them things that we don't query, we just hold the story wholesome. And after a while, it's insanity. So they get thrown out of the garden now, and all this thing about when you get pregnant, you're going to feel pain and all kind of things now. Is this the beginning now of society? Because if we accept that, we're doomed. Because this is the beginning of a society that is grounded in incest, where the sons having sex with the mother because there's no other female. Where else can children be born? And one kills the other and commits murder. So I'm saying, black people, we have to stop and think about the time zone. We hear now that the Adam was 960 years old. That's how long him live. And so what the Christians do is use that age and check out when did Adam have a son and when did his son have a child and his child live to be 600 years, and them add up those years until them get a set of years, and they give you that as the years of the earth and society. So Adam is the beginning of society. And when they begin to calculate the age and the years now, and Adam begot, he had a son named Irad, and Irad had daughter and them reached Methuselah, they begin to add on the years. And so by the time the lineage, because we're looking at the lineage that they give us, black people, we're not into the lineage, The Akan people and the Igbo people and the Mandingo people, we're not into the lineage, This is a biblical lineage of people coming out of a garden. And these people are going to be led to all sorts of activities. And ultimately in the story, all of these lineage lead up to one man, a man named Noah. And here we are told now that the whole world, planet Earth, is being washed away, and black people's history and culture no longer exist. This is too much. Too much. Because in those years, we are told now that is 2,000 years between Adam and the flood, and 2,000 years between the flood and the coming of the Jesus. That makes 4. And 2,000 years from the Jesus till now makes it 6. So we are supposed to accept that this society that we live in was founded 6,000 years ago. And I'm saying the tombs that we just found in ancient Egypt is 8,000 years old. The tombs are more ancient than Eve and Adam. Strange. Yeah, the philosophy that teaches I and I that the white man is superior. The philosophy that teaches that the Europeans brought civilization to the new world. It's all grounded in what you call falsehood, fake news. So the Christian mind and the brain locks the people into a time zone from Adam to Jesus to know. And they claim that that time zone covers 6,000 years or just a little bit more. 6,000 years. Professor Ivan van Sertima, Guyanese scholar, has done the work and has established through practical research analysis. He has established the presence of Africans in the Americas. What we call the Americas now? We call the Americas North, Central, and South. Those three regions. There is evidence of Africans' civilizations. 20,000 years before Columbus. So before the Christian era. And at a time that is even more ancient than the pyramids, tombs that we have just spoken about earlier. The Africans were in this region called the Caribbean, in the Antilles. There was no even term called Caribbean. That's another European construction naming an area that they claim is based upon a few tribes that they met in some part of the region. They say that these tribes are Caribs. And based upon the Caribs, they call the region Caribbean. I don't really hold on to that. I don't hold them kind of like a foolish argument there. Because you're going to name a region, it have to be named for a people or something that is of a great significance. We don't know anything that the Caribs have contributed to the development of the region. We know about the Mayans. It is easier to call the region the Mayan Ocean than try to call it a Caribbean Sea. So Ivan van Sertima opened the door and move away the whole Columbus idea of civilization and realized that it was a matter of conquest for the Europeans. They did not bring civilization, they bring conquest. And with conquest comes slavery. And with slavery comes an ideology of submission and inferiority. And that is all packaged in the religion of Christianity. It's all about servant and master. So we have to watch the whole thing now and realize that the black people who locked up into this 6-year business, they are prisoners. They may be happy prisoners. Locked up in a little time zone, like in the comic strip where some of the superheroes would have battle some other superheroes and imprison them in a time zone. We seem to be locked in a time zone between the Garden of Eden and the Jesus birth and this present dispensation. If we only open the intellectual eye and look into our story and look into our writers and look at the concept of time being an energy that has no beginning or end. It is energy that has to be utilized. So we can come to this region of the Antilles and we can find African presence 20,000 years before the birth of the Christian Jesus. And we can look into yesterday's findings of the tombs in ancient Egypt that shows you 6,000 years of mummification at work. So we are far, far more ancient than what is documented in one book given to us as the Book of Life. It's really a book that is causing serious death amongst the people. Metamorphosis. Listen to Leroy Smart.
He used to another man. But you've got no pride, you've got no mind, but you've got no shame and ambition.
Yes, the Don, Leroy Smart. We don't really hear much of him of late, but we don't really want to wait until him can sing anymore and flowers and roses are being thrown on him to remember that we have a whole heap of great artists, foundation artists who not able to really get into the money section necessarily, because the money never used to run at that time, but everything is built upon everything else, and we have to respect the foundation. Yeah, there's an issue now that surrounds relationship and identity, you know? And relations seem to be on the rocks because there seems to be a lot of confusion around defining, in a very simple term, what is this thing that they throw at us now that we have to embrace called love? What is this idea of love? I remember in the 1970s they came up with a movie, you know, like Love Story. White man them come up with this Hollywood thing called Love Story, and from that now they try to find a definition of what is love. And love is a feeling that you feel that you have never felt before. You know the definition, Jackass? You can, as a man who has been a lover and know all the things. Man said, no, I'll confess. So I really want to say to them now, the males and the females out there who are having these relations and talking about love, I think we'll get bamboozled. Yeah, with this whole notion of love and being in love and the idea of making love. Because I always wonder, how can people make love? I never know love was something they can make. I know you say you can make babies. And I think that there's a great amount of confusion out there between making love and making babies. And then them start call the baby now the love child. And when it, like a little puppy get too big now and no longer fuzzy and they have to get real attention, it become a serious problem because it's no longer a game. So I want to talk about a little bit about the term love. What it really means, especially now within black people culture, because on the plantation and our brutality, we couldn't talk about love and them kind of emotions, because the thing is too harsh. It's too harsh. It's too harsh to express compassion. It's too harsh to express emotion. We actually have to be suppressing and hiding our emotions because of the brutality. Man being raped in front of his wife by these men. The wife being raped in front of the man by these men. It's all kind of brutality where unimaginable. So we have become very good at suppressing emotions, negative emotions, because it's hard to deal with. So the idea of love now, which is a Hollywood construction, because I see my granny now, who coming out of the ancient school, my granny must have been born in 1900. And me didn't know fair thing who come from it. Them never use that word yet, ever. That was not, because we never get a chance to go to the movies. What they demonstrated to I and I as a child and to everybody around was a thing called care. Yeah, care. And it was reflected not just on her own bloodline, but to all the little picking them around and children. It was a feature within a household and within a yard and within a street and within a community. The idea of care. Nobody ever go on that about how them love nobody and who love who more than who. We never get caught up on that until the 70s when the movies take over. In the same way the 70s put on this Dan culture upon way. We watch some Italian movie now and watch a Godfather and everybody turn a Dan. Even the political leadership start call itself a Dan. And who is the one Dan? It's movies, It's the influence of those movies. And so it is with the idea of love. And then the songs, baby, baby, I love you, and I can't live without you, and all them kind of talk there. So people get confused now and don't understand what the love thing is. And I'm telling you, it's better you leave it alone because it's very confusing. Because people expressing love and expressing violence with that love. And possession and ownership and all sorts of emotional problems. So then love don't sound like something that we need to embrace. We need to let go love and return to care. And this is why in the rural areas and some urban areas, the parents used to give the child a little animal. In the rural area, a goat or something, and it wasn't punishment. It was inculcating into the child the ability to care. So you have to change the water. You have to do certain things. You have to wash the dog. And you learn to care. That, I think, has gone out of Jamaican society. Yeah, care gone. And once you lose the care, everything gone, because there's no more respect. Because what comes with care automatically, is respect. So if we want to really refurbish our society, we have to refurbish our own mentality. If I cut out this idiot talk about I love you, and I want you to love me all your life, and if you don't love me, and if you don't love me, they do this. And it's like a big threat. And everything tie up now in the sex, because love seems to be connected now to the sex. And if there's no love, then there's no sex. And if there's no sex, there's no love. And then here comes the money. So all I'm saying to the item now, make us come out of that little mix up, love, sex, money talk, and let us focus more on care. Make us show care for each other, show some care for yourself. And once you begin to show care, then there's going to be a certain level of respect that will be due to you. You don't have to beg people to respect you. A man ask guy for money and I give him say respect. That don't mean nothing. If I tell him no, him tell me about my past and tell me what. So that is not respect. What the society needs is care. And I'm on kind of phrase, a word, respect, CARESPECT. We need to get there. We really demonstrate respect. You can talk love to me, but you can't talk care. Care is an action. You have to demonstrate care. And when you demonstrate care, you don't have to tell me say you love me. Everything is everything. Metamorphosis.
Now watch no face, beg no more pardon. Enough drugs, money they a cherry garden. Enough individual society applauding. You can ask anybody where them get them starting. But no politician take a donation. So no criminal will never see a station. Never see a cell, not even a courthouse. But every Sunday we see them take a boat out. North Coast Resort and car dealership. The construction company, them just don't legit. Usually wash the money, turn it round and hide it. When the kickback them come in, the government delighted. So police cancel operation. Cause no real bad man a go station. Now if you check the situation, a blood money running nation. Come take a look in a Jamaica. Injustice in the place now. If what you see no really face you, then you are the problem what we face though. Was about to buy a next 60 now. Maybe then I never have to be a prisoner. Maybe then I coulda not turn in my firearm. Police couldn't come remand, come me like me run an army. Was about to be a politician too. Maybe then I coulda make any decision. Look, maybe then I make 100 million disappear. Then me act like me no care. What you bought me back in there. Because this sad reality. In a Jamaica say your status or your salary. Man the road a carry one whole heap of felony. But them have a family a boost up the economy. So police cancel operation. Cause no real bad man a go station. Now if you check the situation, a blood money running nation. Come take a look in a Jamaica. Injustice in the place.
Yeah, Jamaica is our paradox. Yes, Jamaica. When I used to live in the deep north, we used to call Jamaica the Rock. Because it appeared from that distance to be a foundation. And I always talk, say, boy, we want to go to the rock. We want to live on the rock, you know. We just have to do time in a North American plantation, but we really want to live on the rock. And you see the rock rocky. It's a rocky place to live, man, I tell you I them. But you see within the rock, there are crevices and the spaces. And in those crevices now you can hold a meditation. You can do what we call vibes out. And in that vibes you find the essence of your being. And you can engage with your own thought processes and to find within yourself why you exist. And can you find meaning and how do you put purpose to your life. The rock allows those spaces, you know, if you find time to search for yourself. But generally speaking, the rock is a rough place because it's a colony, you know. Remember now, we're not going to forget and get caught up into the tourist projection. This is a colony. And a colony means a state that is under control by a greater power. And the powers that control this colony are really the outside forces. And we can call them Britain, and we can call them the United States. And we can be more specific and call them the multilateral lending agencies that have crippled now and have become the owners of this rock. So within that whole framework now, governance and law is a very difficult thing to maintain here. Law and order in a lawless place, in a place that has a tradition of badmanism and gangsterism. Yeah, that has become a part of the, let us say, the culture of this rock, where survival requires what we call a long time generalship, where you have to can skank your way, evolve into scam. And the scam now was normally just a man just pull a small scam. Now a scam is into the millions of dollars, and along with the scam now comes gun violence. And so Jamaica now is a very, very complicated place to really find your own existence. But it is a place where you can find your identity and create that unity to make everybody prosper and feel a better way of life about themselves. One of the things that is really lacking here now is a concept of whether we are a black country or we are not a black country. And it all revolves around whether we identify ourselves as black people. Now, the person had asked earlier about the Jamaican as an identity. Jamaican is an identity. It's a national identity. I even go beyond to say that it's an attitude. It's an attitude. If ultimately to be a Jamaican, a certain amount of defiance in it, a certain amount of like you can't stop me and little and taller. There's an attitude that I'm calling a Jamaican. But when it comes to our racial identity, there is no race called Jamaican. And there are people here who are Jamaican by nationality and will not claim Africa as an identity. But they cannot deny them black self. So once there's an agreement, that everybody here in the majority is black, we can begin to mobilize a different set of unity in the country. But if we're going to hold on to being orange and green as the divisive forces, then we'll never come together as black people. And those who govern will always love that condition because it's about divide and rule. So the identity issue here, we have a civil self as a 95% black country. We're still into this multiracial foolishness to attract the tourists, and they love to come to black countries. Because when they come to black country, they are so protected. Yeah, because the black people are conditioned now to recognize these people are superior and protect them because they are assets. And you must, that's why in Jamaica, you see the white man, them go anywhere in Jamaica by themselves. Anywhere by themselves, which part enough iron and can't walk, go. It's just some skin them I use for protect them, because they know that under the belief system, we believe that they are superior and they must be protected. And there's some like a white man travel through some place in Jamaica and go in some corners. It's shocking. And if you go to that man, want to cut off your head. So Jamaica is not a very simple place. But Jamaica is a potential, because in the last program I had a guest, Maragini, and it's after interviewing Maragini, I realized that Jamaica is really a small place. And why it is small? Because we have so many great people who leave this place and live outside. And all those great people I realized couldn't hold on Jamaica Island. All the great people in the world who are Jamaicans could not hold here. So they must be out there. So we are a great island. The unfortunate thing that these people oftentimes move out of force because the plantation doesn't encourage our best talent to stay here. So it's a paradox. And part of the resolution is coming to the conclusion that we are a black nation. When the Jamaicans on a whole realize that we are a black nation, and we don't have any animosity toward the smaller minority racial groups. We have the problem with the Chinese or the Indians or the Syrians or those other groups, but we'll have a problem with ourselves because we're not seeing ourselves as the majority. We're not seeing ourselves as a force that have the power to make the change. Digital is too much man follow us. We want leadership qualities. And it begins with that individual learning to really lead themselves first and foremost. Self-discipline, to time, self-respect, care foundation in the metamorphosis.
Them don't have you lock into your clock into your social network. To your social network. So once say they think a microchip in a hand. The system don't alter that they plan. Them have you to your social network. To your social network. If you think I lie, just check your own behavior. Look how you're addicted to Facebook and Twitter. Giving up all your information when no one no pressure you. Giving them total access to everything and then you wonder how them track you. This modern day technology is their modern day slavery. With no fight we give them control over way. The system of the whole world tricked up with it a microchip. Them don't have you lock into your clock into your social network. To your social network.
I am here trying to find the answer to a question that appears on the WhatsApp. Same person asking, them saying something that we hear as a cliche, but them searching for an answer. So the cliche is that if you want to hide something from a black man, you put it in a book. So the person is also saying that, well, black people who cannot read certain amount of books at a wide level. So in which book would you put something to hide it from a black man that you know him not going into? In other words, what kind of book black man don't read? I'm going to do that for about the last 10 minutes. I try to work it out. And you know, the only way I could really respond to that is that the books that I would put things in, if I would think that black man don't read books, would be in science books. Yes, books of scientific information. Because I think in terms of reading, we read social issues, and we read history, and we read politics, and we read those things. But when it comes to science, when it comes to the chemistry, and the physics, and the biology, and the anatomy, I think if you want to hide something from a black man, hide it in a biology book. Because a lot of the stuff that we need to know about ourselves are in those books. The endocrine system is in the biology book. The endocrine system is perhaps the most important system for the black man to know about. The nervous system, the central nervous system, the brain, the spinal column, the peripheral nervous system, the autonomic system. These are the systems that I think we should know, and perhaps these are the books that we should spend more time in. So I'm saying if you want to hide certain information from black man, as much as we read in books, I'd put it in a science book. I think if I look on the cover and flip through it a couple of times, see a couple of images, see some galaxies and some stars and some, now read it and just put it away. That's just my view. Could be wrong. We'll give it a little further thought. Yeah, metamorphosis.
Sarah, just a bun bubble, I ain't giving up. Keep on living up. I'm indigenous. What the money will I STYLZ I draw? Rastafari. You'll live on rain in the heart of all flesh. The conquering lion. Crown king of kings, lord of lords, with the lioness. So you know, repatriation is a must in Ethiopia, Africa. Boom. Rastaman, we taking over. And we've got nothing to fear, we taking over. Righteousness, we declare we taking over. And we've got nothing to fear. Come on, let me see your hands in the air. Taking over. And we've got nothing to fear, we taking over. Righteousness, we declare we taking over. And we've got nothing. Come on, wave up. Yo, pause a full time now. Let that trumpet sound. A full time now. Babylon going down. A full time now. Let the youth them we are the crown. Yo, in the country on the town. Hungry defender, keep the close. Sick minority protected. Infants declared for. Me and Babylon now go par. Tell them me and dirty Babylon always a war. Now go beat me and none of them cookie jar. Police boy for lax, but Tamar, him go mar. The soldier boy for lax, but Tamar, him go mar. So him and the Pope and the bitch, one go par. Flash the lightning that me tell the gun bar. STYLZ I roll the thunder that me tell the gun down. Them last them ways, them no know who them are. Well, let me tell you, you're the bright and a morning star. No for them a block, most of them a top and all. King Selassie is the almighty star. Emmanuel are the higher priest star. Marcus and me, black prophet star. The black Comanche and me, black mother star. Selassie bless him, don't let chalice when just shut up. Most of them a smoke them Cuban cigar. Must smoke me marijuana in a me van or me car. War, cause a full time now. Rise the youth from the slum. A full time now. Make the fire one gun. A full time now. Speak the truth from my tongue. Dirty Babylon, you're going down to
Yeah, Metamorphosis into the final 10 minutes. 10 minutes to midnight. And I know my brethren again, Maragini, he went with his two brethren who were part of his entourage. He went to Pinnacle. Pinnacle is in St. Catherine. I think this is his first time there and was very, very enchanted with the whole settings and had a chance to reason some of the ancient Rastaman them there and reason and so forth. So them come and check, I know him and say, Iman never know say I saw Pinnacle the stay. So I say, what do you mean? Him say, the man them in some serious money making things. I'm say, yeah. Pinnacle was an economic center. It was an economic found. It wasn't some say that man who sit down on a smoke herb, you know. Leonard P. Orwell was an economist. And we can say he was also a capitalist because he understood the importance of money, trading, commerce. So Pinnacle, which is the foundation base of Rastafari, was almost like developing itself almost maybe into a state in terms of its ability to generate revenue, and it really posed a threat to the Jamaican government, who was really the Queen. And so, of course, they mashed down Pinnacle. But what my brother was saying to me, I'm saying, then if Pinnacle and Orwell, as the founders and original Rastaman, did understand the importance of money, at what point did Rastaman start burn money? So I said to him, boy, I don't want to sound like a serious question, because in the truth, the foundation of the Rastafari movement was grounded not just in spirituality, but also in economics. Because Orwell is a man that knows there's economics around the world. And spirituality gives you a compass and a guidance and hold you to a certain path. But he was in whole about trading and commerce. So my brother asked me, so what point in time did Rastaman decide to him start burn money? And I really started think about it, and coming like it's maybe after the camp, after the mash up Pinnacle and Rastaman disperse, back a wall and St. Thomas all about the place. I think a pressure reached Rastaman, wherein he really never have any access to money and couldn't get anything out of Rome, the society, Babylon, without money. So that's why enough Rastaman automatically had to take it to the hills and work on self-reliance and feed himself, because there was no way to really get a job as per se, or to be employed to get the thing called money. So rather than pursue that which you can't get, you pursue your self-reliance, and therefore you can turn it back upon money. I think the awakening came when Bob Marley passed out, and the millions and millions of dollars were exposed that Bob Marley was generating. Because you remember, it's religion keeping I and I also away from money. That whole idea about the love of money is the root of all evil. It is oppressor man is the root of all evil. Is the oppressor man is the root of evil. It cannot be the love of money. Because loving something don't remove white man oppression. So the love of money cannot be the root of evil. It is the oppression of the white man that has been the root of all evil. And him trick us into thinking that it's the love of money, because it is he who makes the money. It's him control the money supply. So the love of money can't take it either here nor there. It is a lack of money that is causing our greatest distress. So the Bible and its teachings don't encourage I and I to break out of poverty. It encourages I and I to embrace poverty, because it seems as if the poorer you are, the nearer you are to Jesus. And the poorer you are, the better your chance of entering into the kingdom. We have to come out of them zones there and realize the importance of wealth and resource and money. Teaching in schools, they don't teach you that money is a need. Them tell you say it's food, clothes and shelter without telling you that money is required to get the food and the shelter and the clothes. So we're coming out of that illusion and we're no longer afraid of money nor love it. Recognize the need to attract it and to develop it and to invest it. Yeah, it is an important tool. It's a need in this year times. Metamorphosis.
Bigger moving, kill this track. Listen to me now, brother.
Where you said,
contradicting yourself.
Chronic Salvador's to tell them say,
Listen to me now.
Contradiction is global.
Yeah, contradiction global. The madness taking over. Too much man in a mix up. One bag a mix up. Rasta and himself.
Contradiction global. Still good conquer evil. David still struggle Goliath. Make one wall a vibe, yeah. Too many idolize badness and slackness. Island in the sun just falling in a darkness. One love and one heart where the heart there. Nowadays you no cool if you no heartless. Flashy with a 9 like you lawless. Like justice I buy out a wallet. Well that a 6 for a 9 and a 9. You know the waste then a sentence to life car.
Contradiction global. The madness taking over. Too much man in a mix up. One bag a mix up. Rasta and himself.
Contradiction global. Still good conquer evil. David still struggle Goliath. Make one wall a vibe, yeah. Well, Margarita no flankers. We bully. So remember, all highs is unlost. So remember, all highs is unlost. Let's move constructively. Be at the right place at the right time. Let's move constructively. Be at the right place at the right time. Let's move. There's some little girls and boys in the ring. Sha-la-la-la-la. There's some little girls and boys in the ring. Sha-la-la-la-la. Want some understanding, deep understanding about Rasta. Rasta no fire but Rasta. Rasta no hate Rasta. Rasta no fight Rasta. I love Rasta. I love Rasta. Let's move constructively. Tell the children, tell them. So we got to move on to the future. Oh yes, the new century. There's some little girls and boys in the rain.
You know that the reparations, which it has been the struggle led by Rastafari in this Western world, we hear that the reparations, in terms of money and organizations that must receive it, we hear that the British have decided to give reparations money to the University of the West Indies. Certain amount of millions of pounds. So you see that now, that fire stick now, you know. Because it is really the Queen handing money to one of her agencies to spend. We don't know where this money will be spent and on whom. This is just the beginning. And we have to be very observant. Because those who must be who must receive this reparation, we wonder if they ever will get it. Is it just another scam? Let's keep our eyes open and we'll watch this development. So again, we give thanks for another occasion at STYLZ FM. Give thanks for Cassidy's silence and his power in contribution to what happens here in the Metamorphosis. And again, we give thanks to my guests last week who passed through Marigini and Ambokile and two brethren from the Southeast Asia. They have now become listeners of STYLZ FM and the Metamorphosis. So give thanks again, Canada, North America, California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the various states of America. Stay positive. Those of you in the Caribbean, in the Antillean Ocean,